practice for 3 years. I transferred in my sophomore year.
Where did you play before then?
I played at Florida State College at Jacksonville. It's a junior college in Jacksonville, Florida, which is where I'm from.
Oh, awesome. My boyfriend lives, like, in Ocala.
Really?
Ocala National Forest. Yeah, we go up to Jacksonville all the time. That's where his dad's from. Anyway. So transitioning from, like, being a player to a coach, like, how has that been? What difficulties have you seen and what challenges have come up? Just kind of explain that whole transitioning process.
It's been kind of crazy because it kind of happened so quickly. You know, I accepted the job in July, so it just kind of like happened really quickly. But the transition was kind of easy in ways, like the coaching and things like that. But I think like the big thing was just figuring out, you know, I'm the coach and I'm not a player anymore. That was what the biggest change was, because I was like playing alongside some of these kids that I'm coaching.
Oh, yeah.
So it was kind of weird to go from like, hey, I was your peer like last week. And now,
last week.
Exactly. So now I'm coaching you. So it's kind of a transition of like, you know, I have to kind of take the role of the coach rather than like your friend.
Yeah, that makes sense. What challenges has that brought? Like, have you had any issues with any players, or has it all been smooth sailing so far?
It's not been like too bad, but it's just like in ways of like me being more commanding in a way. Like I had a hard time finding my voice as a coach, whereas I was a little too passive.
Gotcha.
Whereas I was like, I don't feel like I can like tell them, no, you have to do this or you have to run. But I'm getting better at that, like as time goes by. But
That's
yeah,
good.
definitely finding my voice was the most difficult.
So how did this opportunity come about? Because I know that Cole was the previous coach. So when he left, did they just contact you, or did he want you to fill the position, or how did that go? Kind of talk about that.
Well, when he called me and told me that he was accepting a job at Lindenwood University, he was like, you know, the job's open. He's like, if you're interested, you should interview for it. And he's like, I put in a good word with them for you, because he worked with me and like he was kind of one of my references actually. So that kind of worked out in my favor, and I interviewed for the job, and here I am.
That's awesome. That's amazing. So what did you learn from Cole? You know, obviously being an athlete under him and then now transitioning to this, like what things that he has, you know, kind of instilled in you when he was a coach, like what have you carried over now that you're the coach?
One of the things that like being coached by him and working with him, a big thing was intensity. You kind of have to come out strong as a coach, because people will take advantage of you, you know, like if you don't come out strong and like state like this is how it's gonna be, people will think like, oh, it's fine, yeah. So I think that was one thing that I learned from him. He was very much straightforward with everyone, like this is how it is, this is what we're gonna do.
That's cool. So you guys aren't in the season yet,
Not
right?
yet.
So you haven't had any games yet.
Not yet. Well, we had like a tournament, but it wasn't like, you know, you don't get like trophies or anything. It was more like a friendly invitational is what we called it. So not much competing, but a little bit.
So how do you / how are you going to prepare for games now that you're not playing but you're coaching?
Well, this play day that I was telling you about showed us a little bit of what we need to work on. So I'm going to use like what I saw in that, like to practice and and just like really focusing on sorry.
No, you're fine.
So like the intensity I was talking about, like bringing out, like telling them this is how it's going to be, like
just making it straightforward.
Yeah, what my vision is basically.
Yeah. What is your vision?
Well,
as a coach?
Eventually it's nationals, but it's the little steps to get there. I first want to, you know, like learn how to be good at my job. Not that I'm bad at it, but like there's a lot for me to learn.
Oh, of course.
And just like balancing everything, really. That's the main thing for me right now is like there's so much more to coaching than just being on the court and coaching. It's emails and like behind the scenes things that I didn't even know existed. Things like that, like balance. I'd like to get that under control.
It's nice that you have a little bit before the games actually start where you can kind of figure it out.
The preseason.
Yeah, preseason, like, okay, I'll get it together now.
Yes.
Makes sense. So have you had to recruit anybody yet?
I am working on that.
Gotcha.
I'm talking to a few people. I haven't signed my first contract yet, but I think that's in the works.
So what do you look for, or what are you looking for in some recruits for the team?
Well, I want them to fit in at MBU, because MBU it's different than most colleges, because it's Christian based and things like that. I would definitely look for people who would like to be in that sort of environment, as well as dedicated to tennis, and it's a full package pretty much is what we're looking for. But yeah, definitely someone who's comfortable in a Christian atmosphere. That's like one thing that I really look for.
That's awesome. So what legacy would you like to leave after you're done coaching at MBU?
Whew, that's a big one. I think the main thing that I would want to leave is unity in the team. Because I have a vision of a unified team. And that's another thing that I would like to work on for next year as well, or next semester and season. I think that's something it's not that we didn't get along as a team, but we weren't as unified as I would have liked. Tennis can be an individual sport.
Yeah.
But in college, it's not. Your team. Like, you play singles and you play doubles with your doubles partner, but all those points count towards your team goal.
Right.
So I would like to see team unity.
So what do you think that, now that you're the coach and you have the control over that, what do you think you're going to do to try and provide that for the players, that unity?
Definitely a lot of team bonding. I would like to implement a little bit more of that. I didn't really get to that this semester just because it was kind of crazy, coming into everything and learning things. But now that I have it under control, I have some ideas for next semester. Like, I think that as well as on the court, they should be off the court hanging out with each other. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, honestly.
it's easy to hit a ball next to your partner.
Right.
I mean, it's nice for them to bond off of the court too.
So how many players are in tennis? I literally know nothing.
So, okay, right now I have 7 girls and 6 boys.
Okay.
So, 6 is the minimum that play in a game. So, we don't
Oh wait,
have a
so
huge
you
team
coach
right
guys and girls?
Yeah.
Is it the same season? Oh, I thought that guys was like right now and girls was in the spring. Sarah and I were just talking about that. I totally forgot that.
Yeah.
So you have guys and girls.
I do.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Oh yeah, it's been quite the year. But yeah, so like it's kind of a small team right now, but ideally you want more people, so like you can have like if someone gets injured or something like that. But yeah, so you only need 6 people though to play tennis, because you have 3 doubles teams and 6 singles spots.
Gotcha. Do you have an assistant coach?
I have 2 graduate assistant coaches who help me out, and they're awesome.
That's awesome. Let me see. I think I pretty much covered everything. Oh, here's a really good one. How do you, or how would you want to encourage your players through tennis and through being their coach to be better people outside of school, outside of tennis, but just to be better people in general?
Okay, that's a good question.
It is a good question.
So, tennis, I mean, with any sport really, it comes with responsibility. You have to keep track of a schedule and things like that. Just pushing them to act as they would towards their opponents as they do towards their teammates, just with that same respect, because every person deserves respect, I think that tennis in general, just it teaches respect, because I don't know if you've like seen a match on TV or anything, but it's a very classy sport, like not that other sports are not, but
no,
like,
I know what you mean.
after like, after every match they shake hands, and like I think there's so much in that, like you show your opponent respect no matter what, doesn't matter how the match is going. So I think that respect is definitely something.
Do you think that it's because it's more of like a one-on-one sport, like it's usually only like 4 or 2 people like on the court at a time? Like, do you think if it was like more people it wouldn't be like that, or do you think it like brings a unique perspective?
That's possible. Yeah, I never thought of it like that, but come to think of it, I think so. Just because like since it is only you and that other person, like say in singles, like you two are the only people on the court.
Yeah.
Like, I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, it's a really unique perspective because, I mean, I grew up playing volleyball where you have like 6 girls on the court at a time. Like, I feel like that'd be a very unique sport to play where it's just like you, one other person, and you're literally just like facing each other. That'd be really interesting. So that makes sense. Like, respect must be a huge factor into all of that. So, all right, well, I don't think I have any other questions. So, thank you so much.
Of course. Yeah. No problem.
Oh.